Today we're diving into the world of creating simple programs. Programming might sound intimidating at first, but with the right approach, anyone can learn the basics. In this video, we'll break down the process in easy-to-follow steps perfect for beginners. Whether you want to automate tasks, solve problems, or just have fun, programming opens up a world of possibilities. Let's start by understanding what programming is and why it's such a valuable skill in today's digital age. Get ready to unlock your creativity and logical thinking as we embark on this journey together. Program is simply a set of instructions that a computer follows to perform a specific task. Think of it like a recipe. You give the computer step-by-step directions and it carries them out exactly as written. Programs can be as simple as adding two numbers or as complex as running an entire website. The beauty of programming is that you can start small and gradually build up your skills. In this scene, we'll explore some everyday examples of programs and see how they impact our lives, from calculators to mobile apps. Before you start writing your first program, you need to pick a programming language. There are many to choose from, like Python, JavaScript, or Scratch. For beginners, Python is often recommended because of its simple and readable syntax. The language you choose will depend on what you want to create, but the fundamental concepts remain the same. In this scene, we'll briefly introduce a few popular languages and discuss why Python is a great starting point for most people. Start programming, you'll need the right tools. This usually means installing a code editor or an integrated development environment (IDE) on your computer. Popular choices include VS Code, PyCharm, or even simple editors like Notepad++. Setting up your environment is an important first step, as it helps you write, test, and debug your code efficiently. In this scene, we'll walk through the basic setup process and explain why having a comfortable workspace makes learning to program much easier. Now comes the exciting part: writing your very first program. A classic beginner's example is the Hello World program. This simple program displays a message on the screen and introduces you to the basic structure of code. In Python, it's as easy as typing print hello world. This small step marks the beginning of your programming journey. We'll show you how to write, save, and run this program and explain what each part means. Syntax refers to the rules that define how you write code in a particular language. Just like grammar in spoken language, syntax ensures that your instructions make sense to the computer. If you make a mistake, the computer won't understand your code and will show an error. In this scene, we'll look at some common syntax rules in Python and how to avoid typical mistakes. Mastering syntax is key to writing programs that work as intended. Variables are like containers that store information in your program. Data types define what kind of information you can store, such as numbers, text, or lists. For example, you might use a variable to store a user's name or the result of a calculation. Understanding variables and data types is essential for creating programs that can handle different kinds of data. In this scene, we'll introduce the basics and show you how to use them in simple example. Input and output are how your program interacts with the outside world. Input lets users provide information to your program, while output displays results. For instance, you can ask a user to enter their name and then greet them using that information. In Python, the input function collects user input and print displays output. This scene will guide you through creating interactive programs that respond to user action. Programs often need to make decisions based on certain conditions. This is where if statements come in. They allow your program to choose different actions depending on the situation. For example, you can write a program that checks if a number is positive or negative and prints a message accordingly. In this scene, we'll explain how if statements work and provide simple examples to help you understand conditional logic. Loops let your program repeat actions multiple times without writing the same code over and over. There are two main types for loops and while loops. For example, you can use a loop to print numbers from 1 to 10 or to process each item in a list. Loops are powerful tools for handling repetitive tasks efficiently. In this scene, we'll introduce both types of loops and show you how to use them in your program. Functions are reusable blocks of code that perform specific tasks. They help you organize your program and avoid repeating yourself. For example, you can create a function to add two numbers and then use it whenever you need to perform that operation. Functions make your code cleaner, easier to read, and simpler to maintain. In this scene, we'll show you how to define and use functions in Python. Comments are notes you add to your code to explain what it does. They don't affect how the program runs, but they help you and others understand your logic. Good comments make your code easier to read and maintain, especially as programs get more complex. In Python, you add comments by starting a line with the hash symbol. This scene will show you how to use comments effectively in your programs. No matter how careful you are, errors will happen. Debugging is the process of finding and fixing mistakes in your code. Common errors include typos, incorrect logic, or missing punctuation. Learning to debug is an essential skill for every programmer. In this scene, we'll discuss strategies for identifying errors and tips for fixing them efficiently so you can keep your programs running smoothly. Libraries are collections of pre-written code that you can use to add new features to your programs. For example, Python has libraries for math, graphics, and even web development. Using libraries saves you time and lets you build more powerful programs without starting from scratch. In this scene, we'll introduce some popular libraries and show you how to use them in your own projects. After writing your code, you need to save it and run the program to see the results. In most editors, you can save your file with a Py extension for Python. Running the program executes your instructions and shows the output. This scene will guide you through the process of saving, running, and checking the results of your code, helping you develop a smooth workflow. Let's put everything together by creating a simple calculator program. This program will ask the user for two numbers and then add them together. You'll use input, variables, and print statements to make it work. This hands-on example shows how basic programming concepts come together to solve real problems. Follow along as we build this calculator step by step. Once you've built a basic calculator, you can add more features like subtraction, multiplication, and division. This is a great way to practice using if statements and functions. By expanding your program, you'll learn how to handle different user choices and make your code more flexible. In this scene, we'll show you how to add new operations and organize your code for better readability. Users might enter unexpected input like letters instead of numbers. Your program should be able to handle these situations gracefully. This involves checking user input and providing helpful error messages. In this scene, we'll discuss techniques for validating input and preventing your program from crashing when users make mistakes. Lists are a way to store multiple pieces of information in a single variable. For example, you can use a list to keep track of items in a shopping cart or scores in a game. Lists make it easy to organize and process data in your programs. In this scene, we'll introduce lists and show you how to use them in simple projects. Once you have a list, you'll often want to process each item in it. Loops are perfect for this task. For example, you can write a program that prints every item in a shopping list or calculates the total score in a game. In this scene, we'll show you how to loop through lists and perform actions on each element. Dictionaries are another way to store data, using key-value pairs. They're great for situations where you need to look up information quickly, like storing a person's name and phone number. In this scene, we'll introduce dictionaries and show you how to use them in your programs to organize and retrieve data efficiently. Let's build a simple to-do list program using lists and loops. This program will let users add tasks, view their list, and mark tasks as complete. It's a practical example that combines many of the concepts we've covered so far. Follow along as we create this useful tool step by step. Once you have a basic to-do list, you can make it even better by adding features like saving tasks to a file or sorting them by priority. This scene will show you how to enhance your program and make it more user-friendly. By building on your foundation, you'll gain confidence and learn how to tackle more complex projects. Loops are a fundamental part of programming, and understanding them deeply will help you write more powerful programs. In this scene, we'll explore nested loops, loop control statements like break and continue, and common pitfalls to avoid. Mastering loops will make your code more efficient and flexible. Strings are sequences of characters like words or sentences. You'll often need to manipulate strings in your programs, such as combining names, formatting messages, or searching for keywords. In this scene, we'll introduce basic string operations and show you how to use them in practical examples. Many programs use menus to let users choose what to do next. Creating a simple menu system helps make your programs more interactive and user-friendly. In this scene, we'll show you how to build a menu using loops and if statements, allowing users to select different options easily. Adding randomness can make your programs more interesting, like creating simple games or generating random numbers. Python's random library makes this easy. In this scene, we'll show you how to use randomness in your programs and explore some fun examples, such as rolling dice or picking a random winner. Let's create a simple guessing game using what we've learned so far. The program will pick a random number and the user will try to guess it. This project combines input, output, loops, and conditional logic in a fun and engaging way. Follow along as we build this classic beginner project step by step. Once your guessing game works, you can add features like keeping score, limiting the number of guesses, or giving hints. This scene will show you how to enhance your game and make it more challenging and enjoyable. By iterating on your projects, you'll learn how to add complexity and polish to your programs. Errors or exceptions are situations where something goes wrong in your program. Learning how to handle exceptions helps you write more robust code. In Python, you can use try and except blocks to catch and manage errors gracefully. This scene will introduce exception handling and show you how to use it to prevent your programs from crashing unexpectedly. Programs often need to save data for later use. Reading and writing files lets your program store information like user preferences or scores. In this scene, we'll show you how to open, read, and write files in Python and discuss common use cases for file handling in simple programs. Even simple programs can analyze data like calculating averages or finding the highest score. By combining lists, loops, and basic math, you can create programs that provide useful insights. In this scene, we'll walk through a basic data analysis example and show you how to process and summarize information. Modules are files that contain Python code you can reuse in different programs. They help you organize your code and share functionality across projects. In this scene, we'll introduce the concept of modules, show you how to import them, and explain why they're useful for keeping your codebase clean and manageable. Beyond the basics, there are thousands of libraries available for Python. Some help you create graphics, work with the internet, or even build games. Exploring new libraries is a great way to expand your programming skills and discover new possibilities. In this scene, we'll highlight a few interesting libraries and show you how to find and install them. Let's create a simple quiz game that asks the user questions and checks their answers. This project combines input, output, lists, and conditional logic. It's a fun way to practice what you've learned and see how different programming concepts work together. Follow along as we build this interactive quiz step by step. Once your quiz game is working, you can add features like keeping score, giving feedback, or allowing multiple attempts. Enhancing your projects helps you learn how to manage more complex logic and improve the user experience. In this scene, we'll show you how to make your quiz game even better. Functions can do more than just organize code. You can pass information to functions, return results, and even create functions inside other functions. In this scene, we'll explore advanced function concepts like parameters, return values, and scope to help you write more flexible and powerful programs. Before you start coding, it's helpful to plan your program. This can be as simple as writing down the steps you want your program to take or drawing a flowchart. Planning helps you organize your thoughts and avoid mistakes. In this scene, we'll discuss simple planning techniques that make programming easier and more efficient. Testing is the process of making sure your program works as expected. This involves running your code with different inputs and checking the results. Good testing helps you find bugs and ensures your program is reliable. In this scene, we'll introduce basic testing techniques and show you how to test your simple programs effectively. Documentation is writing explanations for your code, either in comments or separate files. Good documentation helps others understand your work and makes it easier to maintain your programs in the future. In this scene, we'll discuss simple ways to document your code and why it's an important habit for every programmer. Once you've created a program you're proud of, you might want to share it with others. This could mean sending your code to friends, uploading it online, or even publishing it as open source. In this scene, we'll talk about different ways to share your programs and the benefits of collaborating with other programmers. One of the best ways to improve your programming skills is by reading and studying other people's code. You can learn new techniques, discover shortcuts, and see how experienced programmers solve problems. In this scene, we'll discuss the value of learning from others and how to find helpful resources online. Now that you know the basics, it's time to build your own project. Start with something simple like a calculator, a game, or a to-do list. The key is to practice and experiment. In this scene, we'll encourage you to pick a project idea and apply what you've learned step by step. Learning to program can be challenging, but it's also incredibly rewarding. It's normal to feel stuck sometimes, but don't give up. Celebrate your progress, ask for help when needed, and remember that every programmer started as a beginner. In this scene, we'll share tips for staying motivated and enjoying the learning process. Congratulations, you've taken your first steps in creating simple programs. Remember, programming is a journey, and the more you practice, the better you'll become. Keep exploring new ideas, building projects, and learning from others. In this final scene, we'll recap what you've learned and suggest some next steps to continue your programming adventure.